Good afternoon. Welcome to the Lebanon Utility Service Board meeting. It's August 8th, 2018. And before we get started, I want to mention we did have a working session meeting prior to this, of which was properly noticed and advertised, and no decisions were made. With that, please join me in saying the Pledge of Allegiance to the flag.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And let the record show we have two absent board members today, Dan Lamar and Neil Taylor. First thing on the agenda is approval of the minutes from our July 25th, 2018 meeting, listed as an action item. Everybody had a chance to review the minutes.
I make a motion we approve the minutes as presented.
Second.
Motion made by Jim, seconded by Bill to approve the minutes of the July 25th meeting. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Next item on the agenda is Economic Development Report and Request for Financial Support, listed as an action item. Welcome.
Well, good afternoon, everyone. I'm Molly Whitehead. I'm Executive Director of the Boone County Economic Development Corporation. Lebanon Utilities has been a long-time supporter and investor in the Boone EDC, and we greatly appreciate that support in years past. Every year, we like to come before you, give a brief update of the activity that we've seen for Boone County as a whole, but specifically for Lebanon, knowing that is obviously your service territory, and just what we have been doing, how we work together, and things we're working on in the future. So again, we greatly appreciate the financial assistance in years past, and this also does serve as kind of our annual request for funding for, I guess, this year, I guess, for 2018. That amount in years past has been $7,500, and we are very grateful for that support. A quick overview of what the Boone EDC is and why this is important, that we have a solid relationship with Lebanon Utilities. You'll see on the first page there just Boone EDC's core competencies. Everything we do relates back in one way or other to one of these three. The first is traditional economic development. That is attracting and retaining new and existing employers to Boone County, specifically here in Lebanon as well. That also involves small business development and entrepreneurs. Small businesses and entrepreneurs actually make up about 90% of all of Boone County's businesses, and we feel it's incredibly important to work directly with them, offer financial assistance where we can, in order to help them thrive and succeed here, so that when they do become the next Amazon of the world, we want them to remember where they came from. The other two, and these are also related to economic development, talent attraction, retention. It's a fancy word for workforce development. We want to make sure there's a good match of employees to employers. Do the type of employers that we have here, are they able to attract the right workforce? If not, what can we do to assist in those efforts? And then use that also in our attraction efforts as well. And then placemaking is community development. We know that having a quality place where employees want to live, that directly impacts our ability to bring new businesses here and help the existing ones expand. That helps us show that there's supply of workforce that they need. The second page, if you flip over, why the Boone EDC. Now this is geared towards our more of our public elected officials, county council, city council members. However, feel like it's important to do a quick review, but then break it down why it's important for Lebanon Utilities. Again, our goal is to recruit and retain employers to Boone County. For the elected bodies, that brings them increased industrial and commercial assessed value. We want to take that burden off of the residential users. Now, obviously, for utility companies such as Lebanon Utilities, that is actually bringing you in new industrial customers, helping your existing ones expand. And also it's important to note residential users and the role that they play in there as well. May not have nearly the needs that a large-scale industrial user would. However, they do play an important role in our overall economy and certainly are important to Lebanon Utilities. For the other kind of elected bodies, that provides tax dollars, that helps pay for basic needs, it helps pay for infrastructure, and then helps reduce the overall tax burden on those residential users, helps us attract those new companies here, and helps the existing ones expand. It's cyclical. Everything we do is typically related to everything else. You'll see I provided two basic slides on just the fiscal impact of the projects. We've worked 2017 as a whole. Since I kind of come in mid-year, I felt it was important to do kind of a wrap-up of 2017. But you'll see for Lebanon specifically, 4 announced projects came from DA Lubricant, XPO, Sharkco, and U.S. Cold Storage. 2 of those 4 are XPO and Sharkco are Lebanon utility customers. Sharkco's a rapidly growing small business here in Boone County, and they have a lot of great expansion opportunities available. Again, the sort of small business we're talking about that we want to make sure that, as they grow, they have what they need here and can continue to stay here. For the elected bodies, but again, for taxpayers in general, $64 million in capital investment just for Lebanon, 1,200 new jobs, and you'll see over $5 million in local property tax impact that we're estimating over that 10-year period, again, specific to Lebanon. XPO, I'm sure you all or those on Lebanon Utility staff have worked closely with them, but XPO went into the Pearson Education Building, 1 million square feet that had sat vacant for about 3 years. You've got hundreds of people working in that facility now. They've got some opportunities to bring in some different machinery that I believe would probably add to their load, but that's a great example of a building that was sitting in your territory that we're glad to be able to get that filled and back on not only the tax rolls, but more utility usage. 2018 year-to-date estimated impact, you'll see we're at 4 announced projects year-to-date here in Lebanon. 2 of those are in your territory, IBC Coatings and then Monasol. Monasol is going in the Lebanon Business Park, actually next to XPO. They're a film manufacturer, so the Tide Pods, for example, the film that covers the Tide that goes in those pods is actually manufactured by Monasol. So it's not a heavy user in terms of number of employees. However, it's a highly automated process that they are running there. And so we're excited to see them. And you'll see over a $6 million property tax impact just for those 4 projects. Lead activity, when we talk about leads, that's companies that are knocking on our door, taking a look at Boone County as a whole. They're looking for a new location. They're looking to expand. We've received 94 leads year to date. By the end of 2017, we'd received 141. So we're tracking slightly above where we were this time last year. Would anticipate, just based on these numbers, we'll probably blow that 141 out of the water. That is anything from I'm looking just for a 15,000 square foot facility to I want 15 acres to build a new building on. That's how Monasol landed here, was we wanted to do a build to suit, and this particular parcel in the Lebanon Business Park we felt was the best fit. This is where we work or start to work closest with Lebanon Utility staff, and where we do rely on that partnership with them to get our jobs done as well. And we were just talking beforehand, we get a lot of requests that come in our door and they want estimate water bills or estimate electric bills. I'm not an expert in that. I don't want to be an expert in making those calculations, but certainly you employ the professional staff that can make those calculations, that can help explain the cost and the charges to users, explain how the process works, help that run smoothly, and certainly we've, like I said, experienced that good relationship so far and are continually working to improve that and see how we can either streamline that process, make it simple on either side, and make sure that we can continue to meet those client needs, because working at the speed of business is incredibly important, not only to the Boone EDC, but of course to our partners as well. They're very much a part of that. Just other accomplishments of note. You'll see last year we distributed, or actually 2017 through this year, we've distributed $65,000 in microloans. That was originally federal money that came in. Our latest one was here to El Chisme here on the Lebanon Square. It's a $15,000 microloan to help them just jumpstart their costs. So again, another small business user, utility user that we want to see grow here, and we want to literally invest in them. Going forward, we'll continue our traditional business attraction efforts. Just for your information, who we specifically look for here in Lebanon, not necessarily logistics and distribution companies. We will work with them, but that is not a target area for us. What we look for are manufacturers, but specifically within that auto, ag, food and beverage, plastics, and pharmaceutical or life science companies. We've seen a decent amount of interest, in particular with food and beverage companies, and also with the plastics industries. Certainly, keep an eye on events going on in the world and how that may impact some of those other industries that are out there. But we think we have a good mix and are excited for what that holds. With that, I'll end, but I would be happy to answer any questions about anything else we have been up to. But again, greatly appreciate your support and would appreciate continued support of the Boone EDC in the upcoming years.
Any questions for Molly?
Do you also look to the city council for economic support as well?
We do. Yep.
Okay.
Yep, we are funded. We're a public-private nonprofit. We're actually a 501c6 organization. We receive funding from the public entities. Most of the municipalities in Boone County invest in the Boone EDC. We have a fee-for-service contract for our work. There's only one municipality that does not partner with us, but Lebanon does, just as Whitestown, Zionsville, and the county do as well. And then utility partners make up kind of the next biggest level of support. Boone REMC, Whitestown Utilities, Duke Energy, all invest in us. Especially with utility companies and with the public entities, we provide a direct return on that investment. It's not a nonprofit going out there and doing important philanthropic work. It's literally for this dollar you're getting money back for those users. And then we have private investors as well that make up our organization.
Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Questions or comments? I think it's worthy of our continued support, so I would entertain a motion.
I make a motion we continue to support the Economic Development Committee, both physically and financially, for 2018-2019.
I would second that motion.
Motion made by Bill, seconded by Jim to continue financial and physical support of the Lebanon Economic Development, or Boone County Economic, excuse me. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried.
Thank you very much. We appreciate
Molly.
it.
Okay, next item on the agenda is 69 kV South Loop Contract Award. Corby Unruh.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, Board. As you know, we're in the final stage of this project, and our engineering partner, Spectrum Engineering, has gone out to several contractors with a bid package. They received the bids, had a public opening, went through the bids thoroughly and put a recommendation together. The next phase of this project would be for the board to approve and award the contract. I would request that the board approve the contract with Gaylor Electric for installation of the 69 kV South Loop line in the amount of $1,785,675, with the general manager having signing authority on all documents.
Okay, any questions for Corby? What's the estimated time of completion or number of days that the contractor has to?
The estimated start date is September 4th. The estimated finish date is February 1st, 2019. Not sure how many days that is.
Okay. Thank you. No other questions? Entertain a motion on that.
I make a motion, we award the 69 kV construction contract to Gaylord Electric for $1,785,675 with General Manager Mike Whitman signing all pertinent documents.
I second that motion.
Motion made by Bill, second by Jim to approve the award of the 69 kV South Loop contract. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Thank you very
Thank
much,
you.
Corby.
Thank you, Corby.
Next item is approval of claims.
I'll make a motion, we pay the claims.
Second.
Motion made by Jim, second by Bill to approve the claims. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Other business, General Manager Mike Whitman.
I do, thank you. Good evening, and thank you for being with us. Lebanon Utilities is your not-for-profit utility owned by you, the citizens of Lebanon. I thank the board members for their approval tonight of the 69 kV transmission line construction contract. Guiding the transmission line process, doing the planning, identifying a dozen different routes, conducting good engineering due diligence for each route, final route selection, gaining the necessary board and council approvals, obtaining the necessary land rights from approximately 50 parcel owners has, to say the least, been quite a journey. Our attorney, Jeff Jacob, guided us and led the charge in securing the land rights, and did so without the need of a single eminent domain action. In this day and age, that is a remarkable feat. Jeff, thank you. Our project manager, Corby Unroe, will continue leading our efforts to finish this electric reliability project in the first quarter of 2019. The entire project process began some 6 years ago, involved scores of individuals, including 3 general managers, and at last we can begin to see the end. I thank everyone who has contributed in making this a successful project. I appreciate you spending some time with us this evening, and I ask, please remember, be safe out there. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you very much, Mike. Any other comments from board members? If not, I would open it up public comment. Like we have any public comment?
Nope.
That being said, our next board meeting is scheduled for August 22nd at 5:00 p.m. And we will have a working session prior to that meeting scheduled with Principal Financial Group. And with that, I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
I make a motion, we adjourn.
Second.
Motion made by Bill, seconded by Jim to adjourn. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Thank you very much and have a good evening.